Hey, Bestie.
Hey, Bestie. Hey.
Welcome to That's My Bestie. So what are we talking about today?
Man, we are talking about something that most people don't even know what it is. Something that I did not know what it was until I got in my 30s.
Okay.
Love languages.
I think that's important. Is it that the topics that we're choosing, we talking about dating, we talking about love language, like, if we try, you want to be in love, girl?
I do want to be in love.
Me
Again.
too. Me too. I'm really in my soft girl era, yeah, we need somebody to love us, girl. I don't just want anybody either. I want somebody that I am equally yoked with. And somebody who's going to love me unconditional. Someone who's going to, I have chemistry with. So that's the thing. Like, you can find different dudes. Different dudes might like you or whatever. But you got to have chemistry with them. Mm-hmm. I have, a lot of friends, a lot of dudes I'm cool with. And, dudes end up liking you or whatever. But for me, I don't want nobody else on hand that I know. That's number one. Right. I'm big on that. I don't want nothing nobody else had. And then, I want somebody to know my love language.
And when you say chemistry, what is chemistry? Like, what makes you say, oh, we got good chemistry?
I can be silly Gwen.
Okay.
And then I'm just Gwen. Like, I'm not Dr. Gwinnetta. I'm not the lady that run all these businesses. That you just see me.
For who you are. They could be your friend.
Right. Like, you see me. And, somebody that can make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to make me laugh. And I got to be able, have a little vibe with you.
Feel like you back in school.
Right.
Feel like you back in high. They call it teenager love.
But I don't really date or do a whole lot of dealing with men for real, because it's very hard for me to find chemistry with somebody. That's has been the hardest thing for me, finding chemistry with somebody. But I also believe love language. I think that's real important in any relationship.
It is,
it's
but
about
when you
love
hear
language.
the word love, when somebody say love, what comes in your mind?
I really don't know. What is love?
So how would you know if somebody love you?
It's a feeling to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's
action.
Yeah, it's a feeling. It's an action. It's the small things. Oh, I guess that would be the love language part, right?
Mm-hmm. The act of caring for you.
But I guess you gotta be I don't know, because I had people in my life men that might be interested in me that do those things, but I just don't. Either they I can't talk to you because you don't talk to somebody, I know somebody, or I don't got the chemistry. So it's that type of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess it would be my love language. They're feeding my love language.
Right.
And then when you talk about love, outside of men and stuff like that, it's just literally a feeling. You know what I'm saying? I love my sister. I love you. I love my mama. That's just you care about that person. You want that person to be good, they matter to you. Their feelings matter. So it's an action thing. Love is not something you say. And I think people throw the word "I love you" out too much.
They do, and in love too
and
much.
Love too. And then
you see celebrities and they just be "Oh, we in love." Y'all just met 2 days ago,
right? But there ain't no actions. Ain't no actions. I'm an action girl. You can't tell me a whole lot.
Right. You are. You
can't tell me nothing.
But I can honestly say, even in a bestie relationship, it took you a long time. You didn't know my love language. You have to know your love language with every person you're in a relationship with.
We didn't know each other love language.
True.
Okay.
Because if you don't know each other's love language,
you'll feel a certain way. So let's talk about our friendship love language. And then we'll talk about when it comes to a man.
Right.
All right. So, and but before we do that, tell me what you think love is.
I think the same thing. I think that love is the act of caring for someone.
Did you read that, did he?
No. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
You do it with action. Mm-hmm. I don't go by the word.
Okay.
I go by the action behind the word. And so I feel like people say it's patient and kind. I have a thing in my house that tells you exactly what love is. And I bought it just because I want everybody that come to my house to know what love is. Because it's very sentimental to me. Like, it's a word that I don't use. I choose it. And I try to put action behind it. Like, I want, if I love a person, I want them to know by me acting like I love them.
Okay.
And so I make it a choice to do that, to do things to let that person know, like, that when I leave this earth, that person that I love will know that she really did love me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's an action word, but I think that people abuse it, you know? That's why I like that song by, is it Devont? Love is so many things I got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how, because it's a possibility you'll look at me differently.
Oh, I don't know that song, girl.
Okay, well, that's a song that I love. And the reason why I love that song is because of the words of the song. Oh, yeah? And a lot of people probably listen to the song. It's called Love.
Love. You ain't talking about Donnell John.
People
you said Dante or something like that. I do know that song.
Love. Avant. I said Avant.
That ain't Avant.
Who is it?
That's Darnell. That's Darnell. It ain't that person you said, though.
Oh, well, you know, I might have known. Music Soul Child. Yep, that's it. Music Soul Child. But you didn't know. Did you know what I was talking about, the song?
Not when you start saying no words, I was lost, girl. I'm like, I ain't never heard it. Like, I ain't never heard it, girl, but I know you've been love.
So many people
on the words.
Use your name in
vain. Yeah.
That's it.
Love. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like that one.
I like that
That's
song.
You got me thinking, I don't know what that is.
I'm like, dang, she ain't never heard it.
Yeah, girl, I know what it is.
All the hits. But the 5 love languages, many people don't know them. And some of them I know by heart. I know quality time. I know gifts.
Service.
Acts of kindness. Is it acts of kindness? Acts of service.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's the 5th one? I don't know what the 5th one is.
I wrote it down just in case we forget. Physical touch. Did you know that was one?
I ain't know that was one.
Physical touch.
Okay.
And it's tangible, appropriate physical touch, non-sexual and sexual.
Mm-hmm.
So it involves physical contact. I'm going to read it because I want people to really get this. Because some people don't know this. It's hugs, like physically touching someone, cuddling.
That might be your love language, because I thought yours was active. What I told you yours was active.
Quality time.
Oh, that is yours.
But I do like cuddling, and I do like physical affection.
Yeah, you like people to hug you all the time.
I like to hug. So, you know, you can be in between.
Okay.
Quality time is my main one. Time is a lot for me. It's a lot for me. But yours is gifts.
Mine is, that's how and let's make that clear. So it's a way you receive love and you give love.
Right.
All right. Mine is acts of gifts. That's how I show love.
Right.
Okay.
But one thing we had to learn is you don't show it. You have to learn the other person's love language.
Right.
So you can speak their language.
Right.
Because it might be that's your language.
That's how I
would have
That's how I show love.
Right.
Okay. So I show love by acts of gifts.
Right.
Which have made the men take advantage of me. Okay. And then.
And also when you talk about us, you used to think that was how you would show me love, by gifts.
Right.
And then you had to learn that that's not my love language.
Right.
And then same thing versus me. Because I will hug you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will hug you and I would say love you when we get out the phone. You don't say love you.
Mm-mm.
You don't do any of those things. So we had to learn that, okay, this ain't, and sometimes it would cause a conflict.
I mean,
with us.
it always cause a conflict, honestly, because so we'll tell y'all our story, okay? And this, you might have this in your friendship or even your relationship. And this is how, like, for real, like, I kind of started understand love better. It wasn't like really through a man, for real. It was really through my best friend. And I think that's because I love my best friend. Like, I have loved some men too, but I love my best friend. So this is what it was, right? So I'm a giver.
Right.
And I actually have the means to give. So I always buy stuff. I always treat everybody to stuff. I always buy, a lot of times, expensive gifts. I do a lot of buying. Okay, like I really don't know how to do nothing else but buy. All right, and so at one point in our friendship, it was like I buy all these things, and I felt like nobody appreciated them. So that made me bitter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm showing people that I love them through what my act of showing love, and I feel like nobody appreciate them. So it made me bitter towards people. And whether Didi gonna admit it now, because she ain't gonna admit it, right? Hers was at the quality time, right? And I felt like she did not think I loved her as a friend as much as she loved me, because I rarely ever gave her love language. Meaning, like, we do stuff together, but I think in a certain part of my life, all I cared about was working. So we see each other, we ain't really got to do no extra stuff. Like, we just need to work, which people used to think we was always together just having fun, but we was really working. That's right. All our mind was on. And I don't know, like, we had like a little bump in the road as friends. We did not talk to each other, nothing like that, but I felt like we wasn't on the same vibe, right? So I think that's what made me, it was like, I don't know what it was, but I think it was like, oh, okay.
I think it was, we both had a reevaluation as we got older, because it was like probably in our 30s where you do that transition between 20 and 30. So in your 20s, you don't recognize it. And then when we got in our 30s, that's when we started to recognize that, hey, that's when I know I can say I started to recognize that, hey, this is how she gives love, right? Even though it's not my love language, I know that she's trying to do that, right? And so I think for me, that's when I realized that, okay, maybe she don't, you know what I'm saying? This is how she's trying to show me love. And I had to understand that. But I think in your 20s, you just because you don't identify with your love language. In my opinion, most people don't identify with their love language or the other person's love language, because we don't start really knowing those things until we get in our 30s. And in our 20s, you don't know what it is.
And I think that caused a lot of conflict with people.
Right.
Because you be thinking, oh, she don't even care about me. She don't whatever, because they're not.
Or he.
Because they're not giving you the thing that you love. So now it's like, you don't even care about me, and then you ain't even acting right. So, like, I think that's how a lot of relationships break up. But I think as people, you really truly gotta understand your significant other, your friends, even your children.
Right.
You gotta understand what their love language is, because you can be you think you're giving somebody all the love in the world, and you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Because if that child is physical touch and you don't hug them,
right,
or you know what I'm saying, you never show them touch, or you know what I'm saying, or like if it's physical touch for them, rubbing their head might be a powerful thing for them, or giving them a hug, and then but you don't know that as a parent, and so you're missing that with that child, because that's how they identify with love, and at that age, that child don't even know that that's what I'm missing. And then here that child grows up to be a man, right? And then that man missed his physical touch when he was a child.
And
so now he's not receiving it from a woman, and he's resentful because he never received it as a child. And that was his love language.
And that's real important because I listen to like I call them my children, my niece, my nephew, my brother. And even when I've been in relationships,
right.
like these people don't think I love them. They literally like, they don't be thinking I love them because I'm like real hardcore. And my love language is gifts. So people love to get gifts. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, okay, she buy me something, she giving me something. Oh, thank you. But I'm like, I'm thinking like, did you see how much this shit cost? Like, I'm thinking like, I'm going all out to show you how much you mean to me.
You got a gift wrap. You do all of this.
I do all that, and then you'll be like, oh, I love this, and then you throw it to the side, and it's like, but then you go years thinking, oh, she didn't never love me. I heard so many people tell me I don't love them, and it'd be like real crazy. And I ain't trying to identify with everybody love languages, but so it's that thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's so important,
right? Especially like if you have a mate, because you know, I can say, like, I didn't learn, like, even when I was married, I didn't, the same thing as having a best friend. And people don't realize a relationship is a relationship. It does not matter who it's with, right? So it was the same thing being in a marriage in my 20s, because I got married when I was 21. And at that time, I didn't identify or know that there were 5 love languages. Right. And so I was speaking to my husband at the time in my love language, right? But his love language was different from mine, and so that was not how he received love.
What you think he is here? I'm trying to think.
His is gifts.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And mine is not gifts.
Right.
And so it is, but
that's how he showed love though.
Right. Right.
That is how he showed love.
And that's how he showed love to me was gifts. And so we were missing each other's love language just because neither of us knew what our love language was. And then when we learned it, it was later on in our marriage when it was too late, basically. Right. And that just really happens often in many people's relationships. Like, I could really save a lot of marriages just based off of my own experience being a 21-year-old getting married and being married so long and then missing those things that you need to know when you get married. Because I would advise anybody before they get married to read the 5 love languages. It's a book. And I would gift that. Like, I try to gift that to whoever I can. Like, I gave it to my nephew when him and his fiance now, but when they were girlfriend and boyfriend, because I realized and recognized that they weren't meeting each other's love language.
Right.
And they didn't know what it was. And then now they're engaged and getting married, and I'm so happy for them, just the simple fact that it helped them learn a little better about each other's love language. And so for so many people, they don't know what that is. So it's like, if I don't know that that's a thing, or I don't know myself, that's why a lot of people say, I got to find myself. I think a part of it is knowing this is my love language. This is how I want somebody to make love and to love me in this manner, because this is how I receive love. And so if you don't know that, then you just missed a whole part of falling in love, being, you know what I'm saying, love as a word, showing the action. You just missed all of that, because let's talk about act of service. Act of service is somebody that's thoughtful. They make that person's life easier. So what that person does, or if that's their love language, then somebody cleaning up the house for them, that's how they speak love.
Well, you know, language. That's my love language.
Right.
Act of service is mine.
So cleaning up the house, cooking for them.
Mine would be
anything that's of service.
This is what mine would be. So for me to receive love, or for me to feel like somebody loves me, it's definitely after service.
Taking out the trash.
Right. That's your thing, that take out trash.
No, thing. I'm saying that's an act of service for somebody that's their love language.
But you don't say it about 3-4 times. I mean, because you know that trash thing is some big for you.
You know, I mean, I really speak all the languages. I just got my one that's just really good to me.
So I say, so like after service. So for me, it might not be the trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some home stuff. I like it's different, but taking out trash will be significant. I think mine will also be like taking my car to get washed.
They make your life easier.
Running errands for me.
Yeah, they make your life easier.
All those different types of things. That just anything that make my life easier. Right. But the crazy part is if somebody asks me what I need, I always say nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But somebody nothing. That can identify with your love language, you don't have to tell them.
Right.
Like you might say nothing.
Right.
But they'll know that this is what she really wants because this is her love language.
So I got active service. So let me, what's the other ones? Physical touch,
Physical touch, active service.
Quality time. I do kind of be want quality time, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I do kind of be want quality time. Especially if it's somebody that's real busy and then they making it intentional to make sure we spend time together. Then I think that's kind of, that would probably be my second. What's the other ones?
Quality time, acts of service. What we just said, the physical touch, gifts, and we're missing one.
The kindness. Is it kindness?
Acts of service, but we're missing one. Let me just look back. Quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch, and we gotta be missing one. We're missing one. It's a fifth one. Somebody can tell us what the fifth one is. I forgot one. So I know them off the top of my head, but I forgot because I made my own notes. But I know there's another one that people have in that fifth love language.
Yeah, I don't. But all jokes aside, like whatever relationship that you're in, you really need to understand what the person you're dealing with, what their love language is. You can do all kinds of stuff in the world and think you're showing them that you love them, but if you're not doing what they look at as love, then they're going to end up resenting you. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have, and that's why I think a lot of relationships don't last, because you think you got the love in there, but you really don't have the love in there. And then when stuff happens, like, oh, you don't love me, I don't feel no love, and then you don't messed up, I'm out. You don't mess up my money, or you don't cheated, or you do something. That's why relationships cannot last, because nobody cares about anybody, what anybody loves. So my future, because we live in our second lives. We almost 50, because I'll be 47 this year. So my second life is like I said, I'm living in my soft girl era. I live in my soft girl era. So me living in my soft girl era means that whoever I date or be with, like these at the old lady Gwen age, then those are things I'm gonna figure out. And I'm gonna express,
because communication
how
is
I
key.
to be loved.
So you have to explore it, right? Because words of affirmation. That's it. So they say things to make you feel good about yourself. Thank you, Terrence. They say things to make you feel good about yourself. So telling you you're beautiful, different words that encourage you. That's what words of affirmation is. So they use different choice words, and they speak that language to you.
I wonder who be
they
wanting
stroke
to be
your
loved
ego,
like that.
basically.
Oh, these men do, don't they? They be wanting you to tell them, honey.
And so they need those words. They might call you baby.
Yeah.
And they do different things, but they do use those different words to express that type of love.
Honey, you look so handsome today.
You have to tell them they look handsome.
You look so strong.
I
baby,
like the muscles.
You did a good job. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
And so you think about
you so smart.
Right. And so you think about if, because we start learning, like I said, these are things we start learning as a child. And so that's the reason why we get to be adults. And we might have low self-esteem, or different things might happen or occur for a man and a woman. Yeah. Because when we were children, different things might have happened that was not in, and that was our love language. And so we held on to it, and we brought it into relationships now. And we don't even know why we're like this. You see what I'm saying? Because we didn't even know love language was a thing. And then now we got this woman or this man, and then they still ain't speaking the love language. So we mad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because I already didn't get it when I was a kid. Now here you go. So I don't even want to deal with you.
Right.
Yeah. So now you doing this to me. And then just think about if it keep happening over and over, and we do it with this woman or this man, this woman, this man, and then we have a pattern, and people keep messing up our love language. And then now we just, by the time we get 50, we just all jacked up.
Yeah.
And that's the average person in the world.
Yeah, I be feeling like I'm all jacked up.
I mean, we as a people, we are jacked up. And that's why we got to communicate. Like communication, like I've had a partner that don't know how to communicate and express themselves. And so if you don't know how to communicate and express yourself, then you can't tell nobody really how to love you.
Yeah, girl.
They got to know. And then you got to know how to love that person.
They be wanting you to read their minds and stuff. And then you want somebody to assume something. And then that assumption.
But are you comfortable with telling somebody how you want to be loved?
You know what?
Or do you expect them to know?
In my past life, I would say I would want them to assume. I used to think that they just knew, like, for real. Both ways, like, that they should know how I want to be loved, and that I, that what I was doing was showing you love. Like, if I ain't, like, So it's just that thing. But now at my big age,
what would you say?
I'm gonna communicate. Like, this is my communication area. I'm probably gonna communicate too much.
So like if you like sexually, like if people who like to do the back door. So are you gonna just say? Are you gonna just start the man and say, "Whoa, you can't go in the back door"? Or how you have a conversation with them when it comes to love and them loving you? Are you gonna tell them, or are you gonna explore with them?
Girl, what is you talking about? Did you just say the back door? Did he? Lord have mercy. Yes, every aspect of.
I mean, people.
Every aspect.
That's a part of it.
Every aspect of life, and I think that's important too, because you
gotta talk first.
When you be having sex with people,
right,
and it don't be good,
right,
and then you not communicating that, and then they out here acting like they big Billy. You know what I'm saying? Like they putting it down or whatever. You do need to communicate.
Right.
And same thing as a woman.
Especially as a woman. Like you might be a woman that you get stimulated by having a man giving you oral sex. Right? And people don't communicate. And that might be how you love in the bedroom. And then the man, he might don't never do that or something. You know what I'm saying? And then you got women out here that we don't communicate. Or like I just said, or you might not ever give head. Right? And then y'all didn't communicate. And then y'all 8 months in. And then y'all didn't tell each other, this how I love in the bedroom. And now y'all just all jacked up because you don't give head and he don't give head. Two people don't give head. Or you might give a whole lot of head. Some people, that's just what they do. So they ain't in love for real because they get head all the time. You might be super head. You see what I'm saying? A man could get with a super head and then he messed up for the next woman because he got with a super head and super head was just doing her blowjob, right? That wasn't love. She wasn't loving him though. She wasn't in love with him. She just get all her men blowjobs.
Oh, that's a good point.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, and so he just got with Superhead. Superhead done bumped his head because
really did he?
I'm saying this happens. This happens in real life. These are things that
I know this is real stuff, but the way you saying it is just like, girl.
I mean, I'm just being all the way.
Come on now, like, but you telling the truth. Like,
in my 40, now that I'm 40, these are things that I know have to be a conversation with whoever that I'm dating. I need to tell them I don't do back door, okay? You cannot go in my back door. I have irritable bowel syndrome, and you can't be going in my back door.
You coming all the way to the seat, this girl. Oh
I'm just saying.
But I get it.
But what I'm saying is, if you're going, when people get in relationships and we say we're dating and we want to be in love and we're learning love language, you gotta learn this stuff.
I'm laughing at you, but you definitely true. Because
that might be a deal breaker for whoever I'm with.
Absolutely. Because people have fetishes.
Right.
And when they be having those fetishes and you don't do it, then that's how people, people be ghosting people because of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Right? So I do agree, but the way you were saying, it was just like, Lord, I didn't know.
I mean, I don't know.
I didn't know where you were going with it. I was like, what is she doing?
I didn't spruce it up, but I'm just saying.
What is she talking
when you talking about love language, you talking about, we just talked about it, physical is sexual and non-sexual, right? Mm-hmm. So when we talking about it, we just talked about the non-sexual. I just jumped on into the sexual. Yeah. Because if that's somebody's love language, physical, sexual or non-sexual, you see what I'm saying? How you touch them. You got to be careful about how you touch a person, right? You might touch a person that been raped or anything. Molested.
That is a good point. That's a good point.
And then if you're physical, and then if you talking about that love language, then physical touch, it's a certain way you might have to handle that person. It's a certain way you might have to hug that person. You see what I'm saying?
That's a good one. I was like, okay, but yeah, you're absolutely right. And in this day and age, a lot of times you be thinking people be weird or whatever, but a lot of times that's what it is. Right. And with the amount of people that's been molested, growing up or whatever, like when people don't like to be touched or they real funny about how you touch them, like, yeah, you gotta have communication.
Or you could be with a man and he could be real aggressive. Like he might grab you by your neck. Or he might tussle with you, because some people be real harsh when they get intimate. And that might not be, depending on what your language is, you like, wait a minute, now he abusing me. You see what I'm saying? Right. But it be based off our past, but all of that deals with our love language too. See, I'm not saying it just to, you know what I'm saying, be, like I said it 100, because that's just what it is. Right. But I'm just saying, when you talk about love language and you talk about physical touch, let's have a conversation about it, because when we're being intimate, all of those things play a part in what's going on. You see what I'm saying? It does. Like, and so if you're satisfying your partner, then you need to know all of those things. Or you need to know what's the deal breaker when you talk about your love language. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of deal breakers that people don't talk about. And it's just like we just said. And then you just got into bed with that person.
And it could be what we talked about the last show when I was telling you how those men be wanting the extra woman in the bed, or right, 2 or 3. And that might be
something to do with their love language or something that happened to them.
Right. They might need it.
And that might be their physical touch, and they might need a whole bunch of people touching them. But that ain't who I want to touch on. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying it, not to be, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this might be sounding a little provocative. I apologize to the audience, but y'all know this what y'all be out here doing. Y'all don't be talking it. Y'all don't be communicating. We just jumping in the bed with people, and then we ain't getting to know love languages and stuff. And we ain't getting no physical touch, and we ain't getting to know what happened with them when we going in they back door.
Why you keep talking about this back door?
I'm just saying.
Why do you keep talking about this back door?
Because I don't like nobody in my back door.
Girl.
Can the producer ask a question?
Go ahead. I guess you talking.
In our last one, we talked about dating.
Right.
Isn't that the time when you kind of learn somebody's love language?
Well,
it is.
But what is a date though? Because we don't be dating around here. That's why we have to figure out, like, what is a date and what is dating. Like, I think when you think about, we
said that before.
Yeah,
right.
what you think about is like, yeah, if you're dating someone, that is the time for you, like, to get to know each other and all those types of things. But we don't communicate, because what you doing in good morning is not it.
Right.
Like what we saying,
because I can't get your love language if I'm just texting and we're just talking.
Then you got where people just want, we should have said that on the last show, like, well, where people just want to text you. Why you just texting me? Right. Okay? Because one thing is, you know,
but let me tell you this. Maybe that's their love language, is words of affirmation. So the texting is, they might get into beautiful. They might be getting to all that because they think that's your love language. But then that's not your love language. So you're receiving it saying, why you texting me?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying.
We got to make sure the audience know what I'm saying too now.
Okay,
so
I got you.
What I'm saying is communication. Right? Knowing, like, what people communication is. And, like, you might just be texting somebody and just, you know, you too much stuff get messed up in text.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where you wrote and where I comprehend it is two different things. So nobody likes to talk anymore. But how I'm gonna get to know you and know what you like and what you don't like if we're not doing verbal communication? And so I think like it's just important.
Right, but see, that's where your love language comes in. You see what I'm saying? What I was just saying. Because for me, you can't text me because my love language is quality time. So you texting me, you're not spending I don't consider that time. You see what I'm saying? Whereas yours is acts of service, right? So if a person is texting you, that's not your love language. That's why you don't like it. But it might be a woman that's her love language is words of affirmation, right? She likes to talk. She likes to text. So if you're saying good morning, beautiful and stuff like that to her, right? You're speaking her love language. You see what I'm saying?
But what's after the good morning? What's the words after the good morning? Because they don't really be saying a whole lot after the good morning.
Well, it depends. For us, it ain't going to be. You're not going to receive it like that. You see what I'm saying?
Huh?
For you, you're not words of affirmation. So, for a person that words of affirmation, that might work for that woman.
So just saying good morning to them will work for them. Because morning.
They might say good morning, beautiful. How was your day? I hope you're having a good day in the office. Stuff like that.
That ain't what
and
I
if they're
asked,
words
though.
of affirmation,
that ain't what I asked though. I said the good morning. What after that? You might not. I might be okay with somebody having an okay conversation too if they get past good morning and what you doing. But the majority just good morning. What you doing?
Oh, okay. I can see where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think even if they said some more things, they would still have to get to acts of service if they're trying to get to your heart. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, of course they will, because it's my love language. But you can't get to my heart if you ain't talking to me.
That's true.
I'm just saying. Can't get to the acts of service either. Acts of service, you can't get to the acts of quality time. You can't get to the acts of what is it?
Well, I know what you're saying is they can't learn your love language if you're not present. If they're not present,
yeah.
But that's what happens with most people, right? They don't even get to that part because, like with me, we're never gonna get anywhere if you're texting me. It's the same thing with you. Because you ain't doing nothing to stimulate my love language. You see what I'm saying? So you just texting me. Even if you texting me throughout the day, I probably will text you back just because I'm nice, right? So I say, text you, yeah, da-da-da-da-da. I'll entertain you, but you really ain't getting nowhere with me because you ain't doing what needs to be with my love language. Yeah. Right. So that's what I'm saying. And so most people don't communicate to even know that this is the deal breaker already. We already in the deal breaking process, and you ain't there but a weekend. You see what I'm saying? You throw it out the shopping cart.
But that's what I was saying about the communication, because they don't get past what you do.
They don't. And communication is key. Communication really is key and most of us don't do that.
Right.
Majority of people in the world do not communicate with anything.
Not.
Yeah.
I used to know.
And it's important because I got to tell you how I feel. You got to tell me how you feel. We got to learn each other's love language. We got to learn what's going on in the bedroom. We got to communicate all of this stuff.
Right.
And so I want to talk to you because I want to get a feel of what kind of person you are. Because you ain't even coming to my house until I talk to you for a period of time. You see what I'm saying? So, and then most men, part of them learning their love language, they just want to jump and come to your house.
Yeah,
they want to come stay at your house.
Right.
You just met me yesterday, and now you talking about coming over spend the night with my children.
I mean, well, I wonder why they be thinking they could do that. I mean, I guess because people do that.
People do that, and I guess it's part of the language. It's all the language that people are speaking.
Well, I don't care about nobody coming to my house because, I don't like going to nobody else's house. I don't like going to people's houses. But
why do people think that's a thing to just jump and be at somebody's house parlaying and stuff? And they be just met, and then they got the male or female at their house and probably even gave them a key after 2 weeks. They could let themselves in. You got children in there. Ain't nobody thought about that because he just gave you what you wanted last week, and it was good. So then he getting the key and everything. Key to the city.
I don't know, girl. Well, people, if you're in any type of relationship, the wrap up here is to make sure you know your person's love language.
Sexually and non-sexually.
And make sure that you know both ways. Like, you know what they are doing to show love, and then
How they receive.
and how they receive it.
Yes.
Like, you got to know both. Can't know one. You got to know both. And you got to meet both. And I guess that's where that sacrifice and compromise and all of that come in it. Because I'm not a touchy person.
Right.
Like, I ain't really touchy.
Like, when I hug you, I have to, like,
yeah, I'm like touchy.
Do you let your man hug you?
I do like
You would let your man
I
hug
like
you?
that touchy, but I don't like other people.
You don't
touching
like say
me.
I love you, but you'll do all that for your man, though.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I ain't never really been like that. Let me see. I ain't really been like.
But you're in your soft girl era, so you
I
might
am
do
my
it now.
soft girl era. Yeah, maybe now, but I ain't been that I love you type chick. I'm trying to think about what time I told these dudes I love them. I might have said it, but maybe not often. I'm not gonna even lie. Like, I might have said it because they might have said it.
You don't tell them.
But I mean,
You
I
don't tell
think I
somebody
have
you
told.
love you love them.
I think I have, but I don't think it's like, honestly, I don't really think it's been that often. Like, no, we can't talk about me because I just got the worst male history ever. We'll get to those on other shows or whatever. So yeah, so we'll figure it out.
I like the soft girl era.
I'm trying, girl, but I'm about to go back to
That's some good language.
I'm about to go back to not hood girl, but hard girl in a minute. Okay. Well, all right, y'all. So again, make sure y'all find out what y'all person's love language is. I'm telling you, it's gonna save a lot. If you find out what your mate's love language is, your friend's love language is, your kids' love language, I'm telling you, your life will change. I'm not gonna even lie, cause we was talking to this old lady that said that her friend had been friends for 60 years,
Right.
And then she asked me and Deonta about, like, how do we what is it? How do we solve disagreements? Because we've been friends for 30 years, so y'all might not know that we've been friends for 30 years, and I was telling her, like, we argue, but we don't argue that much. Like, we don't argue that much anymore. Right. And I think our arguments really did stop as much when we figured out how to show each other love. I really do think so.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I do think so. Okay, girl.
All right, Bestie.
Well, let me tell y'all, if you are listening out there, make sure you download this episode, okay? And if you're on the YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Don't just look, subscribe. If y'all think it's a topic y'all want us to talk about, drop it in the comments. Let us know. And tell us in the comments, so what is your love language? What is your love language? I want to know what your love language is. And tell us both parts. Like, how do you show love and how do you receive love? Because what they're going to do is make you tap into your inner self, and then you're going to be able to express that to other people. Okay, Bestie, what you got to say, girl?
I just got to say, we done learned a lot since we turned it in our 40s. I like it.
Girl, we some wise women.
I mean, we don't have enough time on this podcast, but I'll say, stay tuned because we got a lot more juice to spit out. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye, Bestie.
Bye, Bestie.